When Don Wildman went out there, when I was out there in Sacramento, we had no idea what we would find. But my wife was kind enough to tolerate my little tea party that we were going to do in Sacramento. We knew there would be 6 people who would show up. So my wife agreed to come, my retired parents were coming along, and I took my kids out of school so that we could show them the First Amendment instead of just tell them about the First Amendment. And when we went down to Sacramento, much like what you guys saw here in San Diego, we had 150 people showed up at that tea party. And it wasn't the numbers that were so extraordinary. I mean, that was a lot more than I expected, but what was extraordinary were the type of people who were there. Because you guys were there, retired people were there, teachers were there, employees, employers, kids, students, everybody was there, all colors, all religions. People on all sides of the issues showed up to participate in this thing. We didn't even know what it was. We just knew it was called the Tea Party. And all those people stood together like you guys are standing and sitting together today, and they all had a message for the government. And that is, the message was in one phrase, telling the government, get off our backs. And that message resonated in 49 tea parties around the country. Over 35,000 people came out that day. Most people don't realize it started that big, and they don't realize it because the media ignored us, right? First they ignored us, and then they started calling us AstroTurf, right? We've heard about, we see AstroTurf, we know what it is now, we didn't even know back then. We thought, why are they calling us plastic grass, right? We didn't get it. And then we organized a little bit more, and 6 weeks later, on April 15th, 2009, anybody remember that far back? April 15th, 2009, 850 tea parties all across the country. 1.2 million people took to the streets. You guys remember that? And still they tried to ignore us, right? And they called us racists, they called us fringe, and they called us lunatics. They've thrown everything they can throw at us. Remember they used to call Reagan the Teflon president? You guys are the Teflon teapots. It's the Tea Party movement. None of that stuff is going to stick to you because it's not real. And we are now about to go into the most important election in this country's history. There are people in Washington, D.C., and I get to go see these people in the cage and the animal cages in D.C. all the time now, and they intend to flush this country down the toilet. They believe in something very different than what you believe in. They believe in socialism. They believe in the redistribution of wealth. They believe fundamentally that you're too stupid to decide what to do with your own lives. They're arrogant. These people are the elites of the country, educated in Ivy League schools, making multi-millions of dollars on your backs, being bailed out by the federal government, and they intend to take away your freedoms step by step. The Tea Party patriots don't intend to let them do that. Are you guys with us? So here's what we have to do. It's not complicated. A lot of people want to make it complicated. They want to give you complicated formulas. They want to talk about electoral formulas and what you have to do to take back the country. But it's so simple. It doesn't take a lot. You have to do 2 things. You have to get out there and vote. Is there anybody here that is absolutely for sure, no matter what, going to vote on November 2nd? If you didn't raise your hand, I'm watching you. Number 2, you absolutely must, and I need to know who's committed, talk to all of your friends, all of your family, all of your coworkers, and make sure that they get out and vote, but not just vote, all right? Statistics tell us right now 71%, that's right, 71% of the American people support the Tea Party patriots' values of fiscal responsibility, constitutionally limited government, and free markets. So I want to know, are you going to get people to go out and vote for those principles? Not for the candidates, for the principles. And finally, and I know Mark said this previously, and I just want to reinforce it, when you look around this audience, when you go home tonight and you look in the mirror, when you roll over in bed and you look at your spouse, you need to know you truly are looking at the leader of the Tea Party movement. You guys are the leaders. We appreciate you. Thanks for supporting Tea Party Patriots.
Mark, thank you.